everybody, Bob with Knives Town here. Thought we'd take a look today at a couple of Benchmade balisong knives. Haven't looked at the balisong yet, and it's an important knife. A lot of people are fanatics about them, and I like them too. I mean, I'm not the really super into it where I can do all kinds of tricks with them or anything like that, but I like it. These are a couple that I own myself, and I don't think that a knife collection is really well rounded without the balisong at least being represented in some way. I don't know, as you maybe know or not, but it's claimed to have been invented in the Philippines as a Filipino knife. There are some who contest that and claim that it was invented in other areas of the world. The truth could be that it was invented in multiple places at the same time. That's not something that's never occurred before. So it would make sense. I mean, it's an intuitive design, and it's kind of an obvious and intuitive design. It would make sense that more than one person might come up with it at the same time. Anyway, we've got two of these here. Like I say, they're both Benchmades, and to me, Benchmade is kind of the premier balisong maker, butterfly knife maker, at least in the United States. I understand Spyderco makes a model, and I know Microtech has some, but really I think that most people gravitate toward the Benchmade models. And this particular one here that we have this one's a blast from the past. This one, I bought this one, it has to have been at least 20 years ago. I believe I bought this in either 1991 or 92. Not sure on that. Right in that area, one of those 2 years. And then this one here, I bought. It's a little more recent. It's getting some hair on it too. This one is probably at least 6 years old. So it's nice They're nice. I've enjoyed using them. Again, I'm not a flipper or anything, but I open it like that. That's how I open it. I don't go through all of the fancy motions. I just open it. Hey, it gets the knife open, right? This is what they call the Jaguar, or at least it's what they called the Jaguar later. Now, I don't know if it was called that at the time I bought this back in 91, and I think this is a Jaguar before they knew it was a Jaguar, because the Jaguars that you see later, they actually have a Jaguar logo on the blade, and this one does not. This one, it does have the Benchmade balisong logo there, or it's the butterfly, and it is. It is a Benchmade USA knife, but it doesn't. There's no Jaguar on there, so it's kind of I don't know what exactly the model is. That's why I say it's a Jaguar before it knew it was. When I bought this at the time, I don't think I really cared too much about that anyway. So I just bought it because I thought I liked it. It's got a nice thick blade. It's thicker than what you get nowadays. It's a heavy knife. It's and pretty well built, well put together. I mean, it's held up well. It is getting a little bit loose now. You can see the handles. I mean, there does need to be some play in them, but it's getting a little bit loose now. That's because it uses pins. Whereas the knives today now they use more screws more, and these pins are not adjustable unless you want to pound on them, I suppose. But I've considered having it rehandled because the blade is still great, but then it wouldn't be original anymore, and it would kind of lose something. I think I'm just going to keep it the way it is because I like it. But it's the blade though is absolutely mint. I mean, it's just great. It's a nice thick blade with a great grind. I like that Weehawk blade. There's nothing wrong with it. The handles, now they're a cast metal, a zinc alloy. I believe it's called Zamac, and it's a softer metal. It's it's certainly good enough. It serves the purpose and does well, but it's a softer metal, and you can, one of the reasons, I mean, you can see here that, as you know, that it has these knives have that stop pin there at the bottom of the blade, which goes into these notches or these grooves. And on mine, you can see that it's made indentations in the metal there. You can see that. You can see how on mine that stop pin has made indentations in the metal in that little channel area where it's supposed to sit, because this material is softer. That's just part of the wear and tear. The locking mechanism is this T-bar here, and that's certainly been an evolutionary process. You don't see that anymore now. Now what it is now is it's not even a T anymore. It's a post with a circular retainer at the end of it, and it's spring-loaded, so it just sticks straight out. In this particular model, in fact, it was possible for this latch to fall down into the channel and for the blade to come in contact with it. All right, see, so you can see that's early on in the evolution, and I think I did close it up on that like that once, and had to take a stone, a hone to it, and fix it up. Certainly, you don't see that anymore. But this is a classic. This is a classic Benchmade, and it's held up well. I think I paid about $55 for it back in '91 or '92 when I bought it, and it's just been a great knife ever since. The next one, the other Benchmade butterfly knife I have is a lot more recent, and you can see a lot of design changes since then. This one here is, well, it's not a model that's in production anymore, but it's kind of a mini 42, really. I mean, it's just a small one. It's just a small, just personal size. And I believe that after I bought this first one, not too long after that, Benchmade actually stopped making these butterfly knives. You couldn't get them for a while, and then they started up again. And shortly after that is when this model was produced. And I think that's probably why I bought it, because they were available again. And now this has titanium handles, and it's made to much. I mean, there's not nearly as much play in this one. There always has to be a little bit so you can flip it, but this one is not much more tighter, much nicer. It's the latch mechanism there. It's the same T-bar, but it's such now that the blade cannot come into contact with it anymore. So they fixed that at this point when this came out. They put a pocket clip on it, which I was a little surprised to see. And that is reversible to the other side. These are titanium handles, if I didn't mention. And again, you get the Benchmade balisong logo there. You can see now that steel is not quite as thick as it was before, and the steel is 440C. They did put that on there. And you can see here now we do have screws as opposed to pins. We do have screws now. The balisong, it's the knife has always had a storied history, and there's a little bit of debate about where it was invented, but I I think it's just a great knife to own. It's unfortunately suffered some political fate, like some knives have suffered just due to the way that it opens. Some people felt that you can open it too quickly, or it had too much of an aggressive look or threatening manner. I mean, the flashiness of the way you flip it around just attracts too much negative attention, and the knife was bound to get some kind of political backlash. And of course, it is illegal in many parts of the world now, and in the United States, it's illegal to carry them, I think, anywhere, but there are states that'll at least let you own them. So it's I don't think that I don't believe that we should be evaluating a knife on the way it opens, but that's where we are. I've really enjoyed these knives. I like them. I think they're great, and I'm glad to own them. So anyway, thanks a lot. I'll see you again.